raise interest rates if inflation remains stubbornly high. The minutes of their last meeting showed most officials believed labor market weakness was fading and that the risk of more persistent inflation remained. Oil saw its biggest daily gain since October following a report that American military intervention in Iran could come sooner than expected. A potential war would put flows at risk from a region that pumps about a third of the world's oil. And Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates backed out of a keynote address at a high-profile Indian AI summit just hours before he was due to speak. The withdrawal follows criticisms of his relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
Looking for fun, learning, and excitement at your fingertips? The Rapides Parish Library has you covered. With our easy digital online calendar, signing up for events has never been simpler. Whether it's story time for the kiddos, workshops, painting classes, book clubs, or special guest speakers, you can browse and register right from your phone or computer. Just click, search, sign up, and show up. Head over to our website at rpl.org and get connected today.
Good morning. Mostly cloudy skies on our Thursday. It is going to be warm, 81 for the afternoon high. The wind factor, though, out of the southwest at 10 to 15, gusting as high as 25 during the day today. Now tonight, a slight chance of some showers. We're seeing about a 20% chance. Mostly cloudy skies, 62 for the overnight low. And Friday, not a heck of a lot better. Cloudy skies with the chance of an afternoon shower. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talkback.
All right, welcome back to Talkback on this lovely Thursday morning, 19th day of February. Stephen Maxwell joining us shortly. I just got the live stream going. I'm sorry we missed the first segment, but the one-handed nature of the process today got me delayed. I got it up there in the commercial or during the news at the bottom. I have a story for you to share, but let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Nathan.
Well, let me say this. I hope y'all take this the right way. Old Davey calls it every morning. A very, very bright young man. I say young man, very, very, a very bright man, period. I enjoy his comments he puts in there. But you ever notice when he's talking, he uses the word And I mean, 40, 50 times, hey, you probably don't even, I know you probably listening, you probably don't even realize it. And I don't mean that to put you down. It's just, I don't know, I guess we all got habits. I certainly got some myself.
Right.
But I, you know, I know you. I knew your mom and dad made it went to church with them a long time ago. Her name was Juanita, I believe. But anyway, I just don't call you to you. You're probably not even aware of it. But please again, I apologize if I stepped on your toes. That's not my intention at all. Well, but anyway, that's my comment.
No,
That's all I had to say.
Good comment. I appreciate it. I'm sure Dave will appreciate the constructive comment there. And it's something that we all have to work on. Those of us who are public speakers, we need to be reminded because we do fall into little patterns from time to time. And we end up using little catchphrases or little, like I just did right there when you're looking for a phrase. What's funny is, let me tell you this funny story from speaking Spanish. I'm not a native Spanish speaker, but I'm very fluent, having lived down there for many years. Spanish speakers, especially in Mexico where I lived and do most of my missionary work, don't say they say este. So if you're hearing someone speaking in Spanish and they're saying quiero ir a este lugar, they're using the in their language. So I think every language probably has some type of filler space where we want to continue our thought, but we're still trying to formulate our words in our head. So, but that is a great observation. And I try to not do it, especially when I'm preaching. I really have focused to not do that when I'm preaching. But in normal conversation, when we're trying to continue a thought, I think it does happen. And I don't think Stephen or Al do that as much because they're trained professionals when it comes to radio. But I do appreciate that thought, and I will focus on that. I'm sure Dave will as well. All right, thank you, caller. I appreciate that. Thought the line was beeping, but not quite yet. I did want to mention that a ChatGPT story I was telling you about just a moment ago. That there I go again. Now I'm gonna be super self-conscious about that. Gosh, Nathan, stop it. Now, I'm gonna be so self-conscious I can't even speak. It's kind of like the centipede with 100 legs who was asked by the frog one time. He said, "Man, I don't understand how you can walk. You have 100 legs. How do you?" I have 4, the frog says. And when I jump, I land on my chin, I land on my head, I land on my butt, I land on my belly. With 4 legs, I can barely walk. How do you walk with 100 legs? And the centipede gets to thinking about it, and the more he thinks about it, the more paralyzed he becomes, because there are things you do naturally that just happen, but when you start thinking about them, they may be more complex than you think. So now that I'm thinking about not saying I'll probably say even more, and I'll do my best not to do that. So the ChatGPT story that I was going to tell you about is something that happened yesterday at our church. We're getting ready to celebrate 50 years coming up next month, less than 4 weeks away. And as we come close to that celebration, we're doing some updates around the buildings, changing up some things with, outside and inside. And one of the things we wanted to do was paint a couple of the side walls in the sanctuary on the platform a different color. And to visualize that, I took a picture of that space, and then I asked ChatGPT to show those walls the color I wanted them to be, and it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I was able to share that with board members and different ones that gave approval. Just having that availability to visualize. I kind of channeled my inner Stephen Maxwell, who asked ChatGPT if his clothes match or if these color palettes work well together, by asking it to give me a view of what that would look like. It produced something that I was able to use, and guess what? Tonight we're painting walls.
Nice.
Morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Well, daddy duties complete, which are good to have. I bragged on you a little bit earlier. You probably weren't listening, but doing the good father thing. That's really nice.
Try and keep up.
Yeah. Hey, we got another phone call. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan? Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Well, I've been thinking about ChatGPT. The only power it's going to have over us is the power we assign it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think that. I think that AI is going to save humanity from itself. I don't think it's going to kill us.
Well, I'm certainly sure that most of us hope you're right.
Well, those cameras that you have. There's one in Kroger parking lot that has a pole with a camera on it that says "Please," the light flashing on and off.
Sure, I've seen those in multiple places.
Well, I was in New Orleans a couple of days ago. I stopped at this store, and there was one of those in the parking lot, and it was yelling at these Democrats, telling them they've been standing around too long, telling them to move on.
Wait. The camera was yelling at the Democrats. How did the camera know they were Democrats?
You can look at them and tell they're Democrats. They're Democrats.
Okay.
They're drinking the 40 ounce, and so the camera's telling them they've been standing around too long to move on. And
I could. Your comment you just said camera was speaking to the loitering folks. You certainly would have been appropriate, but assign a party based on that kind of odd. I gotta tell you, that's an odd statement.
I don't think it's odd at all. I live in reality. They were Democrats.
Well, I remember you telling me you're right about everything, so I'm going to accept your word that they are.
I'm not right about it. It's just I pretty much know when I'm wrong, and I can tell a Democrat. Because when I'm wrong about a lot of things.
Okay.
I can look at a Democrat and tell that's a Democrat.
Okay. Well, I guess that when you say that, it kind of reminds me of the Supreme Court that I went with again. Stephen, we'll have to have this conversation off air. You just trained me how to not say but the Supreme Court justice who said he would know porn when he saw it. So I assume that there are things you know when you see them. Hey, I got to take the 7:40 break. Thanks for your call, as always. Go back to the phone lines after this on KSYL.
KSYL.
That's the
I
most
start every
ridiculous
workday
thing I've
morning
ever
off
heard
the
that
same
said.
way. I stop
No,
in
the
and
other
pick
day,
up
you weren't
breakfast
here.
at
He said
Wilmore's
he hates
Mobile and
Hispanic
Sub
folk
Express.
and everyone, and he
It's
doesn't want 'em
convenient,
here.
quick, and oh so good.
Well, I had to push
Croissants,
back. I'm
biscuits,
sorry.
breakfast subs, and their hot coffee is the perfect pick-me-up.
That's exactly what
They
he
always
meant.
ask me why I'm in such a good mood when I get to work. Improve your mood. Stop by Wilmore's any weekday morning from 6 till 9 and get your day started right. That's Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express right there on the corner of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road.
One of America's most famous architects was the late Frank Lloyd Wright. He blended his buildings to their surroundings, and several of his most famous structures include his former summer home called Taliesin in Wisconsin and the Guggenheim Museum in New York City. How'd you like to spend a few nights in a Frank Lloyd Wright home? From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your Arm World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxa. I did just that recently at Still Bend, a 3,000 square foot home that Wright built in 1938 in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Now owned by a local family that lives close by, Still Bend is a quintessential Wright home. From the house number that's in a distinctive font designed by Wright called Eagle Feather, to the entrance with its low-ceiling foyer that opens to a spacious, light-filled living and dining room. Wright called that compression and release, the sensation of going from a small space into a big, welcoming, larger space. Still Bend is a lovely 4-bedroom riverside home that rents for several $100s a night. To find a Wright home you can stay in, just Google, "Where can I stay in a Frank Lloyd Wright home?" You'll find more travel info at rmworldtravel.com.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come a-running with comfort beyond compare.
And a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talkback.
Welcome back to Talkback. The phone line was lit, and then during the commercial stopped. So if you were calling us on the BOM Talk line, 318-442-8255, please give us a call back. Would love to hear from you. We take all perspectives. I do see there's a similar camera to what the caller was talking about at the Circle K in Pineville on the intersection of Military Highway and Monroe Highway, that they're right across from Walgreens, and it's got that trailer with the tile cameras and the flashing blue lights. And for a while, when it first got up, every time you see blue lights, you think there's police presence. Well, it's not actual police presence. It's simply that observation camera on a tower thing. But about every 3 or 4 minutes, it says, hold on, my phone's ringing. Got to stop that. It says, a recorded voice comes saying, you're being recorded, your police are aware of what's going on. And so that's kind of a odd thing. It takes a little getting used to, and I think the idea is to get rid of vagrants and loiterers and make sure folks don't hang around. So I don't know if that was a recording that he heard or saw, but I'll tell you, the first place I ever saw those in wide use was down in McAllen, Texas. The Walmarts and H-E-Bs, almost every one of them had these high. Now, their towers actually look like a human being could be inside it. They're like cabins, and then they have cameras all around. So you never know if there's literally a person in there or it's just cameras. So that was kind of interesting.
I'm not even quite sure what point was trying to be made, but okay. Not from you.
No, yeah, right. So, well, look, we take all callers, and we enjoy visiting with you. So give us a call. We'll chat with you.
I don't know about everybody.
Well, we tell them they can call. Well, I'm going to be nice and say I appreciate the effort to make the phone call. And so, hey, another story I saw this morning. I was mentioning before when I was kind of filling some space here, but I thought it was important, is Rapides Parish Police Jury has a special meeting today, according to the Rapides Parish Journal. They'll be meeting today at 3:30 in the Rapides Parish meeting room, and essentially the main thing it looks like is to go into executive session. So if folks are interested in that, they do have to give the reason for the executive session, and it's an investigatory proceeding regarding personnel. So that will be on the agenda in accordance with Louisiana Revised Statute 4216 and 4217A4. per the request of the Personnel Committee Chairman, Mr. Overton, they will go into executive session today, which means nobody gets to, everybody has to leave the room. They have their meeting. And then the second item will be motions for any actions necessary to resolve issues identified in the executive session. So a special meeting, kind of out of the ordinary. Whenever that happens, makes you wonder what's going on. And I don't know if Stephen will have an opportunity to head over there and cover that, or KLB or Town Talk, somebody. We'll find out what's happening later. But have you heard any rumors about that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So definitely something we'll be taking an eye on. Another interesting thing in the Journal was notice about the Hemingway House having their grand opening on February 24th, so next week, next Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Hemingway House is located at 704 Main Street, the former D.C. Bill Bates Insurance Agency. It says they'll offer coffee, cocktails, and more, providing a new gathering spot for residents and visitors alike. And the grand opening will mark the official launch of the business, but they're actually already open, and I know that because I went yesterday and visited with one of the candidates for District 5. I'd made the offer to any of the candidates that wanted to, since I'm the incumbent and have some years of experience. If any of them wanted to meet and pick up on some history of it, I'm not endorsing anybody, but I would be happy to meet with, and I've reached out to all three of them. First one to respond was Samantha Stanley, who'd come in here to the station studio to interview with you, and that's what happened. I saw her in passing, and she told me she wanted to take me up on the offer. We had a nice visit, and enjoyed that. But the ambiance in the place is really nice, so yesterday was Wednesday. I went at 10:30. Place was full. I mean, there were maybe, I don't think there was an empty table in there. So They haven't even done the grand opening, and they're already doing good business.
So do you buy books there, or are those for rent? Do you know?
I don't know the answer to that. They had bookshelves, and I'm assuming that they were for sale, but I don't know. I did see one person browsing the bookshelves and taking them to the seat to read while they were drinking. I had a nice hot cup of mocha coffee. Man, it was delicious. It was very, very good, and great. Great ambiance. It's kind of dark and dark paneling and has that old school feel. It's that really kind of throwback feel. It's not huge. They did enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the city for a little green space right next door. They're going to, they asked for the permission to put a table and chairs there, or maybe a couple of picnic tables for folks who might want to enjoy their coffee or their whatever their purchase is sitting outside. So they haven't built that yet. They've got that orange construction material meshing, setting it aside because they're working on that. Looks like another great addition to downtown.
Yeah, they so glad it's come about, and I love Ernest Hemingway. He's my favorite, so I was excited when I heard about the project, and I was trying to get there this week, maybe next week. We'll see.
What's your favorite Hemingway book?
For Whom the Bell Tolls, probably. I like his short stories, too.
Okay. I don't know if people realize how many of those he wrote.
Old Man and the Sea is the one that probably everyone knows.
That's true. And probably reason people like that one the most is because it's not as long.
Farewell to Arms
I was
is
about
fantastic.
to mention that one.
So.
Sun Also Rises.
Sun Also Rises is the first one I read.
Okay.
And he's different the way he writes, right? Like, it's very journalistic. It's very... it leaves you to your own interpretation on what happens sometimes, which I kind of like, but it could be infuriating for some people, I'm sure.
Right.
But it lets your mind wonder, like, I wonder why he lost his leg or something, or I wonder why he's in this situation. And sometimes he'll never tell you.
If you want to be guided, that's not the book to read because it really allows your imagination to grow. Yeah. Farewell to Arms, Love and War. I mean, it's one of the best that people would say. So many good. You said that Sun Also Rises was the first one you read?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That
was his biggest book. I mean, that's his first book that he released that became popular.
I haven't read the memoir that he wrote, A Movable Feast. I need to...
I've never read that one either.
Pick that one
honestly.
up. Yeah.
I heard it was good.
But it is nice to see that homage to him there on Main Street in Pineville, and you can see really nice things happening there. Right, a lot of that Jorge Rocha is responsible for. He got Little Chubby's open last year. That kind of sparked that revolution and he owns all of these properties, and he's got the Hemingway House. He rents to them. The Candeloro Studio right there is open up. He owns that building. He has a Paris boutique about to open soon, I believe, and then recently announced the Itty Bitty Mini Mall that is under construction right now. Of course, the very nice mural. If you go by the mural, if you go by the mural, you can take a picture of the barcode and it'll take you to a web page that has the history of Pineville, and I checked it out. It's really well done.
Pretty good.
Very, very well done.
Good.
Then take the last break of the hour. We come back. We'll get into more discussion and your phone calls on 318-442-8255, the BLM Talk Line. Back with Stephen and Nathan after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At the clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
For 1 year only, the event you've celebrated year after year is getting a new name and a new date. Because Fat Tuesday falls on Valentine's weekend, Taste of Mardi Gras becomes Taste of Central Louisiana, happening Saturday, March 7th at the Randolph Riverfront Center. Enjoy the same great food, drinks, live music, and Mardi Gras spirit you've always loved, just on a new night and with a new name. For a full list of events, visit AlexandriaPinevilleLA.com and plan your trip today at ExploreLouisiana.com.
Problems. Everybody hates them, but from time to time, everybody's got some. And that's why everybody needs to know about Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Heating or cooling problem? Call Southern Air. Plumbing or drain problem? It's Southern Air again. Your power's out and you need a generator? Guess who? And you can keep those problems away this winter with a heating tune-up. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling now at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Magic 100.9 is Central Louisiana's choice for continuous light favorites from the 80s, 90s, and more. Magic 100.9 is the home of Sedlaw's family-friendly morning show, Murphy, Sam, and Joni. Let's not forget Delilah every night. Magic 100.9.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback. I wanted to play something that Al sent me. Like I mentioned earlier, he's out of town at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
You almost said Northwest.
Almost did say that. And I think they're meeting next week, if I recall right.
So.
But at a postponed meeting, Matt Ritchie will be the special guest, giving his update to that group. But Al has sent this clip to me in reference to, there I go with my again. I'm going to be so self-conscious of that. I'm going to get better. So Al sent this clip to me, a reference to the death of Jesse Jackson that we reported on earlier in the week. And Jesse actually has a Pineville connection, which I'll tell you after this clip of Jesse Jackson in 1984 on Saturday Night Live.
Theodore Geisel, known to his loyal readers as Dr. Seuss, died this week at the age of 87. Like many of us, I grew up with Dr. Seuss, and one of my favorite stories is Green Eggs and Ham. Here to read from this classic is the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Reverend?
Tonight, rather than read from 1st and 2nd Samuel, I read from Sam I Am. According to the Latter-day Saint Seuss, you do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them. Sam I Am. I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not on a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. You do not like them? So you say? Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them, you will see. Say, I'd like green eggs and ham. I do, I'd like them, Sam, I am. And I would eat them in a boat. And I would eat them with a goat. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam. I am.
Well, there you have it. Jesse Jackson reading Green Eggs and Ham on Saturday Night Live back in 1984. And I don't know how he kept a straight face to that whole thing. He looked like he was preaching, if you were able to watch the video. The reason I wanted to bring that up, and Mal mentioned him to me, that he says one of the funniest things he'd ever seen, shows that Jesse was able to take a joke, give a joke, go along with funny things. But what is interesting as far as the connection to Central Louisiana is when Katrina happened in 2005 and they were trying to bring people from the New Orleans area who were stranded, and all of the shelters were full, all of the places, I mean, just really there was almost no place to take them. Pineville Mayor Clarence Fields commandeered the, at that time, closed Walmart, which is where Lowe's is now located in Pineville. There was an old Walmart that had been shuttered when they built the new one out where it is right now. And people were coming in by the busloads. Mayor Fields commandeered the building because the ownership could not be found. They were down in Covington. They were wiped out. So he contacted Clico, had the lights turned on. Clico said, "Who do I make responsible?" He said, "Me. I'm responsible. I'm signed on the dotted line." Police department, I don't remember if they cut the chains or picked the locks or whatever, opened the place up. The National Guard provided some personnel to come clean the place. Cots were put out. A village was created there. Over time, a pharmacy was installed there. They had a clothing. People were donating just thousands of clothing articles. Volunteers from churches around the area came and sorted through all that and made it possible for the folks to get what they needed. But one of the first bus caravans that showed up, when the door opened, two notable figures stepped off. Jesse Jackson and Maxine Waters stepped off of the bus, delivering those loads of people. And if I'm not mistaken, former Pineville mayoral assistant Madonna LeBlanc was on that bus. And I wanted to reach out to her, but just time ran out. But love to hear her perspective. I know that's a touching moment in her. So Jesse Jackson did have that Pineville connection, and Al had suggested this piece. Very, very interesting. Again, able to make fun of himself. Certainly impacted by the death of Martin Luther King when he was standing on the balcony with him at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. So our thoughts go out to those who are mourning the passing of Jesse Jackson. Well, that wraps up hour number one. Hour two is coming up. We're going to change drivers here. And when we do, coming back in hour two, Stephen will be driving. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer. I'm Vicky Barker in London, where the people of Britain are trying to absorb the news that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the disgraced younger brother of King Charles III, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office.
This is absolutely a moment without precedent.
Daily Telegraph royal correspondent India McTaggart.
We imagine now that he is being questioned, and it's probably the first real questioning he's had on this issue in his whole life.
Revelations in the Epstein files suggest Andrew, while a royal trade envoy, may have shared confidential information with late convicted pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. King Charles has released a statement supporting the police and expressing faith in British justice. Justice which is carried out in his name.
It does end up in the courts, and then it is the king versus his own brother, which would be extraordinary.
Vanity Fair contributor Katie Nichol. Now with more CBS News, here's Deborah Rodriguez.
President Trump convenes his first Board of Peace meeting in Washington this hour. The focus, reconstructing war-battered Gaza. CBS's Olivia Gazis.
The key challenge is Hamas's disarmament. A U.S. official said challenges remain, but they had been, quote, encouraged by what mediators have reported about the group's intentions. The board's focus remains on stabilizing Gaza, even as questions linger about its broader ambitions.
Officials tell CBS News the U.S. could launch a strike on Iran as soon as Saturday. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata.
Second round of talks this week hasn't led to a sort of definitive agreement as far as the White House is concerned. The U.S. wants to be prepared if and when the talks fail.
The Pentagon has moved 2 aircraft carriers into the region, the Lincoln and the world's largest warship, the Ford. It just crossed the Atlantic after playing a key role in the operation to take out Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. A fraternity at the University of Iowa has been suspended after a hazing incident caught on body cam video. CBS's Michael Wallace.
Campus police were responding to a fire alarm at the Alpha Delta Phi fraternity house in November 2024 when they found 56 pledges covered in alcohol, ketchup, and mustard in the basement.
Some of them had blindfolds. Looked like the floor was just covered in beer.
The university suspended the fraternity through July 2029.
Flights are back on track at Newark Liberty Airport after an emergency landing forced a ground stop last night. A JetBlue plane to Palm Beach had just taken off when passengers like Alexandra Spokos heard a loud bang and saw smoke near the cockpit.
They put down the slides and we rushed out more or less in a very disorganized stampede, get out and jumped down the slides and got out and ran away from the plane.
No word yet on what went wrong. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
A relative of the man who dreamed up one of the best candies ever claims Hershey is cheaping out.
That peanut butter and chocolate taste, it's great!
But Brad Reese, grandson of H.B. Reese, who invented the peanut butter cups in 1928, accuses Hershey of replacing milk chocolate with cheaper compound coatings and peanut butter with peanut cream. And these folks?
I've noticed a difference from when I was younger. The regular formula has been different.
But Hershey's John Corbin denies that.
That recipe is the same.
High cocoa prices have caused some candy manufacturers to use less chocolate, but whatever, our folks on the street say.
It's still good, yeah, and I don't think I'm going to stop eating them.
Michael Toscano, CBS News.
U2 has released what it calls an American obituary. It's a tribute to Renee Good, the anti-ICE protester who was gunned down by federal agents in Minneapolis last month. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm John Burns. House Speaker Mike Johnson has drawn 4 challengers in his District 4 race, 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. One of those Democrats is Conrad Cable, a 5th-generation farmer who says Johnson and his fellow Republicans have enacted policies that have decimated Louisiana farmers.
Our #1 crop, soybeans, it used to be a $1 billion industry in 2017, and today we don't even make half of that.
The other Democrat on the District 4 primary ballot is Matt Gromlich of Greenwood. He comes from a different background, a longtime educator, currently teaching at LSU Shreveport. As such, education issues are among his top priorities should voters send him to Washington.
Making sure that we're providing food for our students so they don't go to school hungry, making sure that we're looking at ways to establish universal pre-K for our residents.
LRN. A former mayor of New Orleans is remembering a civil rights giant who passed away yesterday. Andrew Greenstein reports.
The city of New Orleans and the country would be a much worse place if he had not graced us with his presence.
Former New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu talking about his lifelong friend, Dr. Norman C. Francis, a civil rights icon who died at the age of 94. Francis was president of Xavier University for almost 50 years and later helped lead the recovery effort following Hurricane Katrina. Landrieu says Francis's leadership will be sorely missed.
We are going to have to step into his shoes and follow his example. God knows the world needs it now more than ever.
I'm Andrew Greenstein.
Flu cases remain high in Louisiana, and now the Mardi Gras is over, experts say we could see a spike in cases. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Louisiana has had the highest number of flu cases in the country since late November. Health officials say they typically see an increase in cases after Mardi Gras due to all the large crowds. LRN.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
Good morning. Mostly cloudy skies on our Thursday. It is going to be warm, 81 for the afternoon high. The wind factor, though, out of the southwest at 10 to 15, gusting as high as 25 during the day today. Now tonight, a slight chance of some showers. We're seeing about a 20% chance. Mostly cloudy skies, 62 for the overnight low. And Friday, not a heck of a lot better. Cloudy skies with the chance of an afternoon shower. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
I almost said Q93. Welcome to Talkback KSYL here on your Thursday morning. I'm Stephen Maxwell along with Nathan Martin for hour number 2 of your Thursday Talk Extravaganza. And I heard Nathan says a lot.
Come on, man.
Who else says You said Dave says a lot?
Well,
I mean, he's pretty much a de facto host at this point.
The caller said that he appreciates Dave's calls, but he said, I don't want to offend him, but he says a lot. And then the caller just kind of pointed out how that can be disturbing or distracting. And it made me super conscious because I've said more. I think I've said more since he pointed it out than I did before.
I used to try and just pause instead of saying and sometimes I'll pause and then people get uncomfortable because I'm trying to think of what I was going to say.
Well, the pause often, and this was my comment, that I think we say because it's a filler. We're trying to indicate we're not through talking, but if we pause, the other person's going to jump in. And you don't want them to jump in because you want to finish your thought, but your brain can't, your mouth can't process what your brain's trying to say fast enough.
It's a journalistic trick. We were taught that sometimes after an interviewee is done talking, we'll pause and not say anything, and they get uncomfortable.
And they want to say something else.
They'll say something
People
else.
want to feel silence.
Yes, they hate silence.
Salesmen do that all the time.
Or another one is you're looking away, making your point, talking, and then I look at you in the eyes at the end of the sentence. It's very dramatic. It gets your attention.
I'm learning the inside tricks. I need to know this stuff.
But I don't do it in my normal life. I just usually let other people talk.
Have you tried that on your wife?
Oh, she knows all the tricks I employ all the time. Interesting development. We can talk about this a little bit.
I also talked about Andrew. I did talk about Andrew.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry.
Well,
you asked me what I talked about.
Former royal arrested.
Yeah, that was actually led with that. I should have told you.
How'd you know I was going to bring that up?
I was afraid. You said interesting development. I thought, oh, no. But it's okay. People may not have been listening. People who are listening now may not have been listening then. I think it's a dramatic piece of news that a former royal is arrested, Stephen. Go ahead and break the news.
Over the Epstein files. He's consistently denied wrongdoing with his friendship with Epstein. And I don't even know how you say Mountbatten. Windsor is his last name, I guess.
Sounds good.
He's been involved with the files. We've been known about links between the two over the past couple of years. And he was arrested on his 66th birthday at his estate in Norfolk. So the latest there in the drama and some of the outrage over the Epstein files continues. We saw some prominent, I guess you could say, right-wing influencers speak out against the administration and over the handling of the Epstein files, saying if you can't protect kids, what are we doing? Criticizing Attorney General Pam Bondi during her congressional hearing, talking about the Dow as a rebuttal to questions about Epstein. And so I think it offends a lot of people. And I think this is not going away. I think people are very upset. And I think we need to get to the bottom of it. We talk about draining the swamp, and let's say that the administration's not involved. There have been ties between the president and Epstein. We've heard his response to that, and there's no evidence of any wrongdoing by the president in the release of the files, even though we're still waiting for millions of redacted files to be unredacted. However, we drain the swamp. Even if it tears down the system, I think it's appropriate that we get to the bottom of it, or at least a semblance of the bottom of it, right? We just don't want to wish it away. And we heard from others that have been recently critical of things going on. Marjorie Taylor Greene, is she former congressperson yet, or is she still a congressperson? I don't know. Saying that even if it does tear down the system, we need to get to the bottom of what's happening with those files and release some of those unredacted files. It's what we've seen is already disturbing, and if they're leaving out even more, you have to imagine what could be in those files that haven't been redacted yet.
Yeah, so what's interesting about the Andrew thing is that he's not being prosecuted for any sexual misconduct. He's being prosecuted for potentially giving away state secrets in his communication.
Yes.
So, and I made the comment, I do find it odd that it seems like most of the negative impact on leaders have been in Europe, not in America. Is it because they're holding people to a higher standard, or is it because they are more guilty? Most of us feel like the people are being protected in America.
So that's what the consensus is, I think.
The founder of Victoria's Secret, Bath Beauty and Beyond, or whatever that's called,
Les Wexner,
was testifying yesterday, and his essential testimony was, I was duped, I was taken advantage of, I didn't know. And those news reports are that he had signed power of attorney over to Epstein at some point, who made him lots of money, but at the same time stole lots of money from Wexner, and then Wexner terminated the relationship when he found out he was stealing millions. Then when Andrew was asked about why he stayed at Epstein's place, he said, well, it was a convenient place to stay. That's not a good answer.
Okay.
And Wexner's response, how do you become a multimillionaire and you don't pay attention to details and you're duped, so that those answers just don't seem to be flying with many people. But again, the victims, their families are still speaking out and really demanding justice. And like you mentioned a moment ago, the right-wing podcasters, influencers, they're starting to have comments as well, because there are just so many people saying something stinks in Denmark.
We'll take this call here in a second. Nathan, which one's the computer right here?
The third one.
Cool Edit?
Oh, no. Cool Edit, yeah.
Cool Edit, okay. We're waiting for the Clintons, Hillary and Bill, to testify over the Epstein files. We'll play some of Hillary on BBC talking about Trump and this.
We have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated to their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public because let's make this transparent.
There are calls for another individual who denies wrongdoing to go before Congress on this matter. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. Do you think he should testify?
I think everybody should testify. Look,
including the former prince?
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way. That's not true for my husband and me because other witnesses were asked to testify. They gave written statements under oath. We offered that. They want to pull us. Why did they want to pull us into this? To divert attention from President Trump. This is not complicated.
That was former Secretary of State, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton talking about the Epstein files and her, it looks like, inevitable, I guess, testimony with Congress. Will it be in the open for the public like the Clintons claim they want? Will it be behind closed doors? That's yet to be seen. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Okay, I actually was gonna call and mention something about Jesse Jackson, and I can do it real quick.
That's fine.
But I wanted to, what you all were just started talking about too. Yeah, when the Gina 6 debacle happened, I call it a debacle because anybody from Gina that knows really what happened up there, the news media blew that so far out of proportion that it was ridiculous. And so they had the march up there, and after the march, there was a lot of water bottles, trash, chip bags, et cetera, all along the route. I am told by several people from Gina that Jesse Jackson called the city council and apologized that they made such a mess. But Al Sharpton never did. And Jesse has retracted statements, and I've never seen Al Sharpton. I mean, because everybody that's old enough remembers the Twala incident. Twala Brawley, the girl who was a head case and faked getting raped and beaten and smeared with dog feces by the New York cops. I don't know if you can look that one up, Steve. That might be a little before your time.
Yeah, I don't recall that one.
But anyway, regarding this Epstein deal, does anybody else get the sense that how far do we want to go down this? Because there's a real possibility that there's people. I think that Trump knew about some of this. I think Trump discovered what Epstein was really about, and he don't want to talk about it. How much he was directly involved, good question. And also, there's a lot of people on the right, and I'm going to put them out there on not on the far right, but maybe kind of far right. They're saying the whole Epstein deal was a Mossad operation.
Yeah, that's a big talk, too.
Yeah, it really is.
But now, you stop and think about this. What would happen if it came out that all of these people were involved? I mean, and I don't think it's any one side, any one party.
Yep.
It's really funny that they're trying to say, oh, it's Trump, Trump, Trump. I don't know. I think this would turn the U.S. government upside down.
I pray to God Trump isn't involved. I don't want the president involved in those kind of things. I just, I think we would like the answers. The whole shtick from that side has been, let's drain the swamp. I can't think of anything more draining than getting rid of potential pedophilic activity.
Absolutely.
Well, that's true. I can think of one other way, but it's pretty radical. Let's crack open some canned sunshine on ourselves.
Well, if you, even if not involved and you're protecting people that you're friends with or in power with you, that is equally as bad and should not be condoned.
What have you ever heard? Like one guy said he didn't know what he was kind of duped. What if you got on the plane and all of a sudden, and you don't know about this, and suddenly, all of a sudden, this 15-year-old sits down beside you, scantily clad, running her hands over, and somebody snaps a picture of you. Now what?
I would. What's that Lonesome Dove? Speaking of the late Robert Duvall, they had their character with him, their friend, and he got somehow accidentally involved with these bandits, and they ended up torturing and killing some people, and he didn't step in to stop it because he feared for his own life, and they hung him anyway because he didn't protect the innocent.
Yes, I remember that. So, actually, didn't he hang himself? Technically, he gouged the horse. And
pretty much, yeah, he did. Yeah.
But I'm wondering how far down this do we want to know? What would the American people think if some of this comes out? And regarding the Marjorie Taylor Greene, she lost a lot of credibility when she had her two-way affair with two guys from her gym. So that was why her husband dumped her.
Yep, she's that is a fact, but some good points too.
Oh yeah, but what did they say? Even every once in a while, a blind paw hog finds an acre.
That's right. Well, we appreciate it.
Anyway, it's food for thought. Just how involved in this, and what would be the shakeout. And the other thing is, I think some of these people that may be involved, we don't know their names, but they're wealthy, they're very powerful, and they're ruthless.
I agree. Hey, we got to take a break. We appreciate it, man, as always.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think when we're talking about our children, that's a different story, and they have to be protected at all costs. So let the spotlight rain down on America. We'll be right back.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
Hi, this is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. We need your help to stop litter and keep Louisiana beautiful. When you see someone littering or illegally dumping, report them to the litter hotline at 855-LA-LITTER. You report, we enforce.
Again, the litter hotline is 855-LA-LITTER. When reporting, capture the license plate and make of vehicle.
Together, we can put the paradise back in Sportsman's Paradise.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Welcome back to Talkback here on your Thursday morning. I'm Stephen Maxwell, along with Nathan Martin, your host for today. Al Quartermont is living it up at the Opryland Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee, for the National Religious Broadcasters Convention.
And still texting us.
He's still texting us, listening in the morning. I appreciate the dedication, and, I love the show as well. But if I'm out and about, there's a very high chance that I am definitely not going to be listening to the show.
My heart is broken, Stephen.
I heard someone else say they'll go out and about and listen. I'm like, man, that's really nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I had a caller yesterday say that. I do it all the time. It's part of, if I'm not on the show, it's part of my morning routine. I'm listening.
Even when I was gone for a few years, I'd occasionally listen to see what Al was up to, and, on the app. But
yeah, the app makes it so much easier.
Yeah, but we do have Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser calling into the show at 8:40, talk about a number of different things, hyping up some of our big events we have happening in Central Louisiana in the next couple of weeks and months, and give a little recap of some of the Mardi Gras events that were happening.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I mean, there's no better hype man for Louisiana than Billy Nungesser. I mean, I don't want to see him in a cheerleader's outfit because, I don't think I want to see the legs.
Well, you can have a male cheerleader.
No, wait, a what?
There's male cheerleader.
Yes, but I don't want to see
Ask W.
him.
Bush.
Who?
George W. Bush. Ask him. Was he a male cheerleader, or was it his dad?
I do not know.
Did I just make this up?
I have no idea. I do know LSUA has at least one male cheerleader, does a phenomenal job. They've got a guy that's a member of the Pom Pom squad, does a great job. He was actually part of the homecoming court last Saturday. LSUA, by the way, plays tonight. They have 2 final games in the regular season tonight. Both men and women are at University of Texas at Dallas, and then Saturday they play in Hobbs, New Mexico at University of the Southwest. Those are the final 2 regular season games, and then playoff games for the tournament begin the following week, Tuesday and Wednesday. So excitement happening still out there at the fort.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to try and name the 4 presidents who were male cheerleaders.
Can I use my computer?
I was right about one of them. So
which one of the Bushes?
W. Bush. There's 3 more.
I really have no idea.
2 Republicans, 1 Democrat.
So there were 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat.
3 Republicans, 1 Democrat. Just guess.
Okay. Ronald Reagan.
Well, okay. Yeah. Good job.
Wow.
You won't guess one of them, because I would never guess this.
Theodore Roosevelt. I'm just kidding.
No. No.
He would never have guessed.
They're all They're all after 1930.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Born after 1930?
I don't know about born.
Oh, they were presidents after 1930.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt that Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
3?
Really?
Yeah.
He was 1.
1 more. Damn it, you're doing good, man.
Well,
5, 4, 3,
Richard
2,
Nixon.
Nope. Eisenhower.
Oh, really?
Eisenhower was the cheerleader for West Point Academy, so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Ronald Reagan for Eureka College. W was the head cheerleader at Phillips Academy his senior year. And FDR was cheerleader for Harvard from 1900 to 1903.
Now, let me back up and just say, when I said cheerleader, I was thinking about the girls' costumes. I don't want to see Billy Nussbaum and Billy Nungesser in that. That was all I was saying.
No, I know.
I've seen him.
Making a point.
Let me tell you, do you remember he met with the president on the tarmac at Lake Charles, President Trump, and he pulled up his pants leg and showed him the socks he had that had the President Trump hair on it?
Yep.
And Trump loved that. I mean, he's not beyond doing what it takes to draw attention to Louisiana. So kudos to Billy Nungesser.
Yeah, I remember that very well. Very well. All right, so interesting news here. Under new rules for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, the program will no longer pay for non-nutritional foods. That was put in place yesterday. Tobacco, alcohol, hot-prepared foods were already restricted starting yesterday, and I heard people talking about this in line the other day in Alexandria. Candy, soft drinks, and energy drinks will also be restricted for more than 390,000 households in Louisiana who receive government assistance.
I was going to point out, I think that's a Louisiana-only rule. There may be some other states that do it, but Louisiana did it. It was approved by the U.S. Department of Agriculture last year, and it's a 2-year pilot program that does remove the soft drinks, the energy drinks, the candy. And, I think that's a good idea. I really do. I think the idea of that should be for basic necessities, shouldn't be for, pleasure eating. So we'll see. I think the kind of thing that you get frustrated with when you have your budget, you go to the store, you buy what you can on your budget, then you see this full cart coming by and 2 or 3 people combining EBT cards buying, all the high-end stuff that you couldn't afford. It does. I'm not saying it happens every day or all the time, and I don't want to at all say people are abusing the system, but people are using the benefits, and sometimes those benefits seem unfair to those who work on a budget.
It's just not cut and dry. Like, I know people personally in the past who were on the program who I know good and well should not have been, and there's other people that have been on the program that really need assistance, but this just seems like a common sense rule to add to everything. I mean, you don't need energy drinks. I can't imagine, right? However, can you get coffee with SNAP benefits?
I don't know. Like you're talking about coffee to be prepared, ground coffee?
Ground coffee. I'm assuming you could,
I would
right?
assume you could.
I mean, how is that different from an energy drink?
Well, you have to prepare it. It's not instant. Because it used to be you couldn't buy hot and ready food, right? You could
Why
only
does
buy
it matter?
food to be prepared.
Why?
I think partly because it's prepared food is more expensive than food that you have to prepare for yourself.
Oh,
So it
well,
feels
that's
like
a good
it's
point. Yeah.
taking advantage of the system in that way.
That's a good point. Okay, cool. Yeah, those are the new rules that started today. Give us a call, 318-442-8255, and get on the talk line. You know, it's like the Wild West out here. We let you talk about whatever you want. And we have our regular callers, but we love to hear from some new ones. I talk to a lot of people out there in the community who listen, who never call, and I'm sure you have very pertinent points that we would love to talk about. We're also keeping up with the local elections, the May 16 election in Louisiana. The big races besides Congress, U.S. Senate, some judicial races, is Pineville. We've talked about it, all 5 city council seats and the mayor. So we'll talk about that coming up here after the break. Stay tuned.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Walmart has issued a forecast for full-year earnings that missed higher expectations. The company expects adjusted earnings to rise to between $2.75 and $2.85 per share, lower than the $2.97 analysts predicted. Walmart did, though, report strong holiday growth with gains in e-commerce and online pickup and delivery orders, particularly among higher-income consumers. DoorDash shares rise 12% after the food delivery company issued a first-quarter orders growth forecast that topped estimates. Revenue for the fourth quarter increased 38% from the previous year, and the company posted 32% growth in total orders. That's about 903 million orders. Carvana's stock plunges 16% after rising costs at the online used car retailer hit margins. Uber is taking steps to enact stricter background checks. That's after a New York Times investigation showed the company's policies let drivers with criminal convictions, including violent felonies, be Uber drivers. Matt Piper, Bloomberg Radio.
Tired of that same plumbing issue? Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Plumbing problems, large or small, Southern Air will fix them all. And you'll get service with no delay from certified technicians the very same day. Take advantage of our $99 drain clearing special and our 0% financing for those larger jobs. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com. The official heating and cooling provider for LSU football.
Attention all real estate agents. Matter is basic or complex. The Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Louisiana strawberry season is here, and our farmers are hard at work bringing you the freshest, juiciest berries around. Hand-picked with care, Louisiana strawberries are bursting with sweetness, packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. They're as healthy as they are delicious. You'll find them now at your local grocery store, farmers markets, and roadside stand, grown with pride right here at home. This is Agriculture and Forestry Commissioner Mike Strain reminding you to ask for Louisiana strawberries. Fresh, local, and simply the best.
Good morning. Mostly cloudy skies on our Thursday. It is going to be warm, 81 for the afternoon high. The wind factor, though, out of the southwest at 10 to 15, gusting as high as 25 during the day today. Now tonight, a slight chance of some showers. We're seeing about a 20% chance. Mostly cloudy skies, 62 for the overnight low. And Friday, not a heck of a lot better. Cloudy skies with the chance of an afternoon shower. From the Sedlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, welcome back to Talkback. Stephen Maxwell here with Nathan Martin. We are going to go to the phone lines as we talk about the local elections. Give us a call, 318-442-8255. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, y'all.
Good morning, sir.
How are y'all this morning?
Pretty good. What's going on?
Well, to touch base on the president that was a cheerleader was Bush number 2. He was a cheerleader in college.
Yep, right.
And then about the food stamp stuff there, I might be wrong, but I think it was during Katrina, when Katrina hit, that a lot of that changed to what they could buy on food stamps because it was such statewide devastation,
Yeah,
you know.
I think you're right. I think I remember that. That was a temporary restriction that was lifted.
Right. And then some of it got lifted and some of it got put back on. It just keeps going back and forth, you know.
Yeah, I can't. It's interesting. National tragedies or regional tragedies can have impact like that. I was renewing my children's passports this week because we have 2 trips coming up later this year, and their passports expire at the end of May. And so we're actually leaving in May, and I was checking the rules to see, can you return on a recently expired passport? And from 2020 and 2021, they exempted the rule that if your passport had only been like recently expired, you could still use it, mainly because the passport office was closed during the COVID lockdown. And so they allowed that, but that ended in 2021. So you do have to make sure when you look at a rule that it's, you may be looking at a news story from a while back that's not valid today. But that was a great point you made about during Katrina, how that rule was shifted.
Yep, it's amazing what a hurricane or a COVID thing can do to change things, and you not realize what everything was actually changed or what was actually locked down.
Sure.
You know?
And those are important adjustments. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Appreciate your call. Yeah, appreciate
you,
hearing
sir.
from you.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be talking to him in the fall, I guess. Find out. I should have asked. Well, it's too early to ask. I know that was, his intentions for running for re-election or not. Up in Ball, they'll have their elections this fall at the same time as Alexandria. So it'll be a much busier election season this fall.
Exactly.
Along with the national and statewide stuff.
And we have some more local races. We haven't really gotten to them yet in Grant Parish. We have Mayor of Colfax. We have Beverly Mahfouz, Tamika Hamilton Price, who is a alderwoman there.
I think she's Mayor Pro Tem right now also.
Mayor Pro Tem, and Joy Williams. So 3 candidates there. 1 Republican, who's Mahfouz. The other 2 are Democrat. Mayor Town of Montgomery, Vaughn Gilcrease and Nolan Johnson. And then we also have Alderman Town of Colfax, Creola. We're covering the Creola one right now. And council members for the Town of Montgomery. There's one there that was Jamie Freeman, and she won unopposed. So we'll be covering Avoyles and Grant next week, especially on my Facebook page, Stephen Maxwell TV, and keep you up to date there. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, you guys, it's Brad from Chicago. How are you this morning?
What's going on?
Hey, you guys were talking AI the other day. I think it was Monday, and it's the first time I had a chance to call in.
Almost
and
every day, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is kind of the topic of the day. I just want to let everyone know that it can't do everything, okay? So now, this coming from a 30-year tech veteran like myself, but an example of how fast it's moving is that there's some Chinese hardware guys out there, a team that took a 430,000 line of code, right? So you could run these things on at home on a $500 Mac Mini or something like that, right? Or you have to buy these super expensive video cards that NVIDIA has profited off of immensely. Well, these guys have taken it down to running an AI on a $10 piece of hardware.
My goodness.
And so yeah. And the boot time has gone from 500 seconds to 1 second. So they have changed the whole landscape, and it's going to open up wide. And the popular thing with AI right now are called these agents.
Right.
If you want to check it out, there's one called a Pico Claw, or I think it's called Open Claw. That's where a lot of it is going, because the big tech guys couldn't figure it out at first. Like Microsoft's been pushing this kind of model for 3 years. But I just want to say, utilize it, people. Take advantage of what you can with it. It's not the end-all, be-all. Don't be super afraid of it. Do I think it's going to kill jobs? Yeah. But I also think it's going to give people a lot of time to fix other things and create other jobs. So it's just a fine line. It's like with anything else. There's always a negative and a positive, and it's going to be up to us to balance it. So check it out, you guys. It's called Pico Claw. It'll save you a ton of money running on a little tiny board for $10. So it's all changing, and it's coming in faster than than we can see it. So
you're an apocalyptimist is what it is.
Kind Kind of, but we'll see. But anyway, did Prince Andrew just get arrested? Did you guys talk about that?
We did talk
yeah,
about
well,
wild development.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, get prepared for your next guest, and hopefully I'll get a chance to call him off. I don't have to go to work early.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks so much. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
KSYL.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Louisiana, check out these fun February games from the lottery. Pinch it, heel it, cash it out. If you like your crawfish with some extra kick, then play Crawfish Cash Out. Win up to $3,000. Straight out of the pot and into your pocket. This chicken comes with a side of... If you want a shot at some serious cash, then pick up Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. Top prize, $12,000. Take a walk on the wild side and play Wild Side. Top prize is a whopping $100,000. Play all 3 games today from the lottery. Saints fans, it's not too late to get in the game by playing Game Ready and Saints Game On. Win up to $100,000. Enter second chance drawings for Saints prize packages with a chance to win up to $1 million. Visit LouisianaLottery.com for more details. Louisiana Lottery, celebrating 35 years of reasons to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
You know, I don't know why it's doing that, but we have Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. How y'all doing?
Good, good. How's everything where you're at?
Oh, we run around. I'm stopping at a couple state parks before I head into the office in Baton Rouge and speak to the legislative committee today. So we got a full day.
Well, the big question is, have you recovered from Mardi Gras?
I haven't. You know, every year it gets a little harder. We had some travel writers that travel the country in RVs writing about places to visit, and we had them staying at our state park in Fontainebleau, and they rode with me in the Covington Parade. We wanted to highlight all the Mardi Gras celebrations outside the big cities in Louisiana, and so they'll be writing about their experience riding in Covington, Louisiana, Mardi Gras, and those family-friendly, safe, affordable Mardi Gras celebrations all over Louisiana.
Well, I can tell in your voice you probably shouted a little bit in the last few days.
Yeah, it's cracking a little bit.
We were talking before you called in earlier how you are the absolute best cheerleader for Louisiana that Louisiana's ever had. We don't want to see you in a cheerleader outfit, but we appreciate the way that you champion, especially these smaller towns and the non-commercial home field Mardi Gras celebrations that makes Louisiana, Louisiana.
Well, I tell you, it's easy to get excited and passionate about Louisiana. Everywhere I travel in the world, people tell me about the way we treat people. We treat strangers like family. They leave with a friend for life, and they just keep coming back for more. So the record numbers we see in tourism are because of the way Louisianans treat people, and that's got to make you pretty proud to be from Louisiana.
Well, I can't imagine anyone talking with you and not wanting to come visit the state that you love so much because you are so personable. There are some great things happening in Louisiana, and next week there's a I don't know his name. I need you to tell me his name, but somebody's getting pardoned next week.
Yeah, I tell you, every year we try to highlight some great company or person, and Don Sachon from Tony Sachon Seasoning, we're going to be honoring him. He's the great-grandson of Tony Sachon, and we're going to be doing it at their facility. We take one lucky crawfish out the Atchafalaya Basin. We pardon him while the rest of his family gets boiled alive. And we let that crawfish live his life out in the state park, and we get a lot of fun press. It's a great way to get people excited about getting out and eating some great Louisiana crawfish, and it makes news across the country. So it's another way of bringing some good attention to Louisiana.
I'm looking forward to when his family's going to cost a little bit less a pound, too. So.
Well, this warm weather ought to help.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we need that. And hopefully the cold weather that we had might prolong the season a little bit for us, because it always ends too soon.
I agree. You know, I'm for crawfish year round, but I know that can't happen. But you always freeze the tails and put those in all kind of dishes year round, so you can always get a taste of crawfish year round. And of course, when you can't get the fresh crawfish, you got the shrimp, the crabs, and the oysters. And we take it for granted sometimes, but the fishermen that provide that fresh, great seafood to us, other states would love to have.
So I'm sure you've had many a crawfish boil across Louisiana. What's the most unique thing you've seen put in a boil that you've tried?
Golly, they put everything. But, you know, when I used to do that for a living, I had 10 rigs, and I'd go around doing crawfish boils to help the cooks in the slowdowns in the oil field that worked offshore would work on the weekends for me boiling crawfish. So we used to put everything in it, from hot dog, sausage, all the normal stuff. You got people putting cabbage in there now. Anything you can boil, you put it in crawfish now.
One of the best things I ever had was cheese stuffed tortellini. It's fantastic.
What?
It's so good. Yeah.
I haven't had that yet.
Throw that in there next time.
It actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. So you guys got the Moon Pine Festival coming up.
Yeah, I tell you, we're kicking off after Mardi Gras 400 fairs and festivals in Louisiana. If you can eat it, shoot it, drink it, dance to it, we name a festival after it. And I keep saying before I die, I'm going to go to them all. And every year, somebody comes up with a new one. 3 years ago, when Ball, Louisiana decided to put on the Moon Pie Fest, I'm like, no way. Well, now they're in their third year. It's a big draw. People go out there for the contest, the cooking contest, the eating contest. They're going to be crowning the festival queen. And it's turned into a draw from people from all over. So, yeah, they've done a great job at promoting that festival, and it'll be a great time. I tell people you got to get around Louisiana and go to a fair and festival you haven't seen. Every one of them has something unique and different, and it's really worth a trip around Louisiana to visit all the fairs and festivals.
Well, and I know Mayor Wilking appreciates your support. She's a big fan of yours, but she knows how to get people to do stuff for her, doesn't she?
Oh, she does. There's a great example of the passion that grows in Louisiana. Her love and passion for her town, her city, and the people. There's a great example of an elected official that doesn't just do their job. They do all they can to make the quality of life better for the people in the community. And she is a great Louisiana ambassador.
Well, thank you. And I know there are other. How do people find out about all the festivals around Louisiana?
You can go to uniquelouisiana.com. You go to louisianatourism.com. And then, look, I tell everybody, sign up for Love the Boot Week. We took over Love the Boot Week 3 years ago. We had about 50 groups clean up Louisiana. You can go to lovethebootweek.org and sign up a group to clean up during Love the Boot Week. It's coming up in April. Last year we had 1,471 groups in every parish. It's become a movement to clean up Louisiana, and we're going to keep our foot on the gas until we have Louisiana is beautiful and clean again.
Well, I know that's a big event for you. I was talking recently with Mayor Joe Bishop of Pineville. Their efforts year-round he says it's so much easier to win a city cleanest city contest when you keep your city clean year-round. And I think you had a lot to do with inspiring people to don't just think about cleaning your city one time a year. Do it all the time.
Absolutely, and they do a fantastic job. I tell the elected officials, and Pineville and Alexander, both mayors are a great example. Their employees pick up litter whenever they see it. They pull over, pick it up. If every parish did that, it would keep a majority off the road. And DOTD has become a great partner. They now have a company. They're selling sponsorships on the interstates, and they're going to have a company pick up litter once a month. So we'll keep the interstates clean. We've got a new video for the schools where the animals are talking to the kids so we can change the culture. We're attacking this from all angles, and we're seeing an impact. We still have a long way to go, but it's something if everybody gets involved in, we can really make a difference.
So you guys have done something special with litter abatement you have a phone number that people can, not abatement, but litter reporting, I should say, a phone number that people can call into if they see someone doing something. It's kind of like the see something, say something thing.
Well, yes, and up until now, you got a letter from me saying you were caught littering, don't do it again. But now the legislature's allowing us to mail you a ticket. It's 1-855-LA-LITTER. And it's 1-855-LA-LITTER. You report someone, Tom, where you saw them, the make, license number. They'll send you an affidavit to sign. Don't worry, they don't know who turned them in, and they'll get a ticket in the mail.
Well, great stuff, Lieutenant Governor.
Well, I appreciate you.
I'm sorry. I did see you at a recent event in Baton Rouge. You showed some video clips of people who were dumping in frequent dump sites. You guys made arrests in those situations.
Yeah, we're Wildlife Fisheries doing a great job. We've been partnering with them. What we're doing is we're putting out cameras in high litter areas and catching people that continually litter and dump stuff all over the highways on dead-end roads. And those people are getting tickets. And the good thing about that, only about 22% of Louisiana's litter. And we pay the price for it, and we spend about $100 million a year to clean up litter. So it's a great opportunity for us to catch those people. If you get a ticket for litter, you're about 80% less likely to litter again.
Makes sense.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, thanks for coming on this morning.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day.
You too, sir.
You too. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
Alexandria Fire Department lost one of their own. We'll discuss that here in just a bit.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I'll fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
Now is the perfect time to call A1 Pools and get a nice in-ground pool installed before springtime gets here. Come on, stop putting it off and take the plunge with a new pool from A1 Pools. Plus, if you purchase a new in-ground pool from now till March 15th, you'll get 2 free sidewalk jets, a free dolphin cleaner, and a free saltwater system. Call A1 Pools now at 318-449-2093. Financing is available. That's 318-449-2093 for A1 Pools.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, welcome back to KSYL here on your Thursday morning. Some sad news to report out of Alexandria. The Alexandria Fire Department fire captain Joshua Holloway passed away, not in the line of duty, but they did make that announcement that he did pass away. He joined the Alexandria Fire Department back in 2007. They say throughout his career demonstrated unwavering commitment to public safety and service. They say while he did not pass away in the line of duty, his contributions to the department and the community will never be forgotten. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. Also, the Louisiana Organ Procurement Association, or LOPA, they deal with organ donations here in the area. They did post saying that he was an organ donor, and at Rapides Regional Medical Center, they put up his uniform on one of the pillars of the sign outside the hospital in memory of him. You can see that on my page, Stephen Maxwell TV, and the full news release from the Alexandria Fire Department.
Man, it's so sad to hear that passing, the 19-year veteran of the fire department, and some of the accolades that are coming in definitely show the impact that he made, the way he served with professionalism, his commitment to public safety. And I just saw his picture on a tribute site, and it is somebody I had met, didn't know him well, didn't know him really, have any personal engagement with him outside of a few encounters, but it's always touches home when especially a young person passes, and our heart goes out to his family.
You know, the very tight-knit department, it seems like. You know, firefighters spend a lot of time together, and I know some of them personally, and I know it's been very tough, and we're thinking of them, praying for them, and hope the best. And of course, his family, he had multiple children, a wife, of course, and so couldn't imagine. So
yeah, so you'll see that recognition when it comes time to lay him to rest. I appreciate some of the beautiful, touching things they do. Often at these funerals, you'll have an honor guard standing at attention the entire time of visitation next to the casket. You'll often see the parade of vehicles. It's not really a parade, but the I don't know what term to use, the train of vehicles headed up by
precision, maybe?
Well, with fire trucks and whatnot, often they'll have either two fire trucks hang a giant flag across the highway, or they may be spraying water across. And those are things that I think are so touching and moving, and they demonstrate the unity. I guarantee you there'll be representatives of every local fire department there, because when you lose a brother in arms, it affects you all. So our heart goes out to Joshua Leon Holloway's family, both his personal immediate family and his work family, and all those impacted by his loss.
Yeah, of course, and I'm sure most of the first responders and law enforcement will be involved, so a horrible situation. A little bit of news here, not to change it so drastically. LSUA has been named one of the nation's top institutions
for women, right?
Newsweek America's Best Colleges for Women 2026 rankings. So number 52 across the nation. More than 1,300 colleges and universities were evaluated. LSUA in the top 4% nationwide. Number 2 in Louisiana, only behind Holy Cross College. I don't know where that's at.
I don't know.
Holy Cross College. So congrats to them. The accolades rack up for LSUA, of course, with their record enrollment this year. So a lot of good things happening there. I drove by LSUA a couple days ago, and those apartment buildings that they're building across the street from is it the Why Not stop?
Yep.
Looks fantastic. You're starting to see some of the bones come up, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, so I've driven out there a lot this year. I do the play-by-play for their basketball games, their home basketball games, and have gotten to watch it go from scraped earth to the foundation poured to the sticks going up, and you see the excitement. There are some great things happening there. I'll tell you, the excitement at LSUA, which is, I think, now the third largest university in the state of Louisiana, is phenomenal. And the growth that it brings. We had some folks we had Jason Park come in from Northwestern last week. Great job, excitement there. Excited to see the new president at LC. Great things happening. Upper education, Jimmy Saltel, his replacement at CLTCC. Great things happening in upper education in Central Louisiana.
And they're really ramping up the medical field education here in Central Louisiana. We've heard the mayor in Alexandria talk about us being the medical hub, so they're putting all the pieces in place, and we'll see where it goes in a couple of years. Thank you all for joining us here on your Thursday. It'll be Nathan and Trish for the first part tomorrow. tomorrow, and then me and Trish for the 8 o'clock hour tomorrow. So revolving host, but we'll see you then. Have a good one.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. British police have taken King Charles' brother, the former Prince Andrew, into custody on his 66th birthday over his ties to a scandal on this side of the Atlantic. We have team coverage.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Andrew's arrest comes after revelations in the Jeffrey Epstein files suggested he leaked confidential information to